I owe much to all of them, but especially to my father, Harry Schlossman, who had the special ability of making people feel wonderful about themselves. "You have a radiant manner of speaking," he'd tell someone in a casual meeting, and that person would walk away from that conversation feeling radiant. When my father was hospitalized with a heart attack, my sister and I and other relatives were at his side. All of us, but especially my father, had always used humor as a coping mechanism. But somehow this large, busy, impersonal hospital did not seem the appropriate place for laughter. Hospitals have few spaces where laughter is encouraged. All of us acted uncharacteristically somber during these visits, and I felt I had a need to do something. One day I walked in wearing a pair of Groucho glasses. From that point on, his mood lightened. He smiled at me. "Now there's the daughter I used to know." I left the Groucho glasses with him, and he wore them when his doctor came by during his rounds. This gave the doctor permission to laugh and make a light-hearted remark about how he was a cardiologist, not a plastic surgeon. The incident continued to boost my father's spirits every time he retold it. My father loved people. He was an ideal role model for humor. He taught me about the capacity of humor to connect with other people and enhance human relationships. Dictionaries define a sense of humor as the capacity to understand or appreciate humor. Each of us has this capacity and the lifelong chance to build on it. No joking matter. I've never been a joke teller. I can neither remember nor relate jokes very well. Besides, I'm married to a wonderful joke teller, and one per family is more than enough. Instead, my sense of humor relies more on telling funny stories, writing skits, sharing anecdotes, cartoons, quips, toys, games, and cheerful activities like costume parties and whimsical gifts. Intentional silliness, even zaniness, best describes my particular brand of humor. I feel that the relationship between humor and jokes is minimal. I have always loved to laugh. I once read in a book of averages that the average American laughs 15 times a day. I don't know where they got the statistic, but overachiever that I am, I began counting how many more times than 15 I laughed each day, determined to beat the norm. Funny television shows and movies have always appealed to me. They create easy opportunities for laughter. But the idea that humor went beyond the world of entertainment didn't become clear to me until I began working for the University of Michigan Institute of Gerontology. Part of my job involved visiting nursing homes to conduct staff training sessions. It was sad for me to see that there were fewer opportunities for laughter in these settings, either for the nursing home residents themselves or for the staff in their interactions with one another. In a special residential unit for elderly persons with Alzheimer's disease, I was fascinated to observe that residents who could not remember the names of their spouse or children could often tell jokes or long, funny stories or sing silly old songs from beginning to end. They enjoyed making humorous remarks and clearly got enormous pleasure from provoking laughter. Of course, the pleasure was mutual. Humor has a powerful bonding effect. One particularly gloomy day, a mother and 2 small children came to visit a relative in the Alzheimer's unit. The mother had brought several brightly colored balloons. Soon after their arrival, the children and the residents who were gathered in the lounge began a lively game of balloon tossing. The children giggled and laughed as they chased the balloons and tossed them back and forth among the older people seated about the room. The staff also quickly caught up and joined in the spirit of fun and playfulness. The cheerful mood of that morning lingered long after the children had gone. The incident illustrates perfectly that humor doesn't require fancy props or careful planning. It also shows how, long after a humorous event takes place, the emotional memory lives on. The good feelings and sense of relaxation cast a brighter color on the day, sometimes for days to come. Shared laughter is like throwing open the shutters in a gloomy room and letting in fresh air and sunshine. Laughter is life-affirming at any age and under any circumstance. What's so funny? Having claimed that humor cannot be easily defined or dissected, we will now dauntlessly forge forward and try to figure it out anyhow. Even though different people laugh at different things under different circumstances, researchers have narrowed down some common patterns that make us laugh or amuse us. As you review them, think about how each of these relates to such different forms of humor as vaudeville, television sitcoms, movies, books, cartoons, and comic strips. Surprise! The slapstick slip on a banana peel, the pratfall of the pie in the face all illustrate surprise. Jokes frequently have the element of surprise. You expect one logical ending to a story, and then a new twist, the illogical or unexpected punchline, causes laughter. Some of the funniest and most memorable and effective television commercials deliver their message with a quirky surprise. Exaggeration. Picture a clown, better yet, a tiny truckload of clowns skittering across the sawdust into the center ring of the circus. A dozen of them are crowded into a toy-sized fire engine. They circle around and then tumble out wearing hats the size of teacups or shoes as big as skateboards. Exaggerating things out of proportion tickles our funny bone. Caricatures like clowns are another example of visual exaggeration. We get pleasure from exaggerated tastes like spicy 5-alarm chili or double fudge ice cream, and from the sensation of exaggerated sounds like the boom of cannons at the finale of the 1812 overture. Reversal. Like surprise and exaggeration, reversal catches us off guard and offers us a fresh way of looking at things, a new perspective. Reversal means we expect one thing and the opposite occurs. It also includes incongruities. In the Peanuts comic strip, children speak like sophisticated adults. In Gary Larson's The Far Side, animals behave more intelligently than humans. The Three Stooges are grown men who act like children. Teachers